Let's see what else I got. What else I got? Okay, so this is what the tax cuts that they say Trump is proposing. Let's look at this real quick. Hold on. Okay, leaked memo from U.S. House Budget Committee. Republicans reveals Trump tax handouts to the wealthy estimate at 1.2 trillion. Includes repeal on 15% of corporate profit minimum tax, elimination of estate tax for millionaires, lowers corporate tax rate to 15%, and reinstate corporate tax loopholes. Yeah, so they're gonna save a lot of money. The memo also advocates for stripping away $80 billion from the IRS, and they also want to tax hospitals and eliminate the charitable deduction for donations to hospitals. The memo also proposes 1.9 trillion tariff on all imports to pay for the tax breaks for the wealthy. The memo proposes 2.2 trillion in tax hikes for middle and lower income families, including repeal the green energy tax credits, eliminate mortgage interest deductions, raise taxes on single parents and students, eliminate credit child care. Damn. Uh, the memo also targeted vulnerable groups of individuals, especially the elderly, disabled, and impoverished families, and it takes aim at the following: supplemental security income, that's Social Security, by the way, temporary assistance for needy families, and supplement nutrition assistance program, SNAP. That's food stamps. They're gonna try to take away money from those programs. Healthcare services for millions are also at risk. The memo targets weakening and scraping the following: the Affordable Care Act, Medicaid, nursing home staff, and Medicare. Consumers' protections are also on the chopping block. This means it'll be easier for corporations to scam and steal from America. He say USians. The memo cuts the following: Securities and Exchange Commission, the Consumer Federal Protection Bureau, and the Office of Finance Research, and the Fannie Mae Foundation. The memo also reverses all climate change protections and replaces it with items that will damage the climate even further, again targeting national parks and weather services while expanding coal and offshore drilling. So, again, this is just from an anonymous source on Twitter. But there's stuff to just look out for that's just going on. You know. So we could understand why certain folks are gonna be happy to have Donald Trump in office.
What do you think that says to these people? It absolutely creates an emboldened and buttressed group of far-right extremists that exert and conduct political violence, and it is corrupting our system, because I know some of my colleagues are afraid right now. And if you're afraid physically or you're afraid for your family, that has an impact on how you do your job as an elected official. That is authoritarianism. That is not democracy.
So yeah, that's also going on right now. Is Trump got them running scared. These folks is Democrats ain't coming out to talk about fighting back. Ain't really nobody saying nothing. A few folks are speaking up, but even what I'm doing right now is halfway dangerous, because they're gonna be shutting a lot of this stuff down. Like, as far as anybody being able to talk shit or being able to say what they want. But it's free speech. So we can say what we want, right? We can continue to report and let folks know what's going on with the
Donald Trump just revoked Executive Order 11246, which was initiated back in 1965. That being the Equal Employment Opportunity Act, which was previously put into place to both promote opportunities for and protect women, ethnic minorities, LGBTQ plus people, and others traditionally underrepresented groups within society. It also prohibited discrimination in the workplace based on race, national origin, sex, religion, age, disability, and marital or familial status. And ever since its formation 60 years ago, supporters have continually argued that the program is vital in order to address the long-standing inequities and structural racism in the United States. It was signed in by President Lyndon B. Johnson in 1965 as a means of protecting the rights of federal contracted employees, ensuring they remain free from discrimination. It didn't say you have to hire people that aren't qualified. It just said you can't not hire someone for being these things. And Donald Trump got rid of it. Why? Because it's DEI from 60 years ago. You remember how not long ago the Supreme Court ended affirmative action in college admissions? This act has something in common with affirmative action, wherein who benefits from it the most? Do you know what group benefited the most from affirmative action and from that Equal Employment Opportunities Act?
You know what? What group?
You know what singular group? Most people say black people. That's usually the go-to response.
That's not
that is not accurate. That group would be women, specifically white women. Experts say that the women we see in positions of power today, especially like CEOs in large corporations, can be directly attributed to stuff like the Equal Employment Opportunity Act. White women, the same demographic that 69% of cast their vote for Donald Trump in the last election. You voted against your own self-interest, and the whole lack of bodily autonomy thing should have been the thing that made that clear, but just in case that went over your head, here is this. If you have daughters, you just made their life a little bit harder. Slugs voting for salt. Enjoy the next 4 years.
All right, that was TZ Entertainment coming through with some nice tidbit information about some of the acts and I don't know, just policies that Trump is rolling back on. These things, it does not mean that these things have really go into law, but what makes everybody very alarmed is the fact that they are in control of the Congress and the Senate as far as the Republican Party has a majority. And so a lot of these things, once the bill get rolled up, it's going to get passed very easily. And, they're just going to move on to the next thing. And the fact that they roll and move like that, I think that makes black people respect the power. One thing black folks respect is power and the unity of the Republican Party. And so, not to say that we shouldn't, but then, it's all kind of just stuff that been happening. Then it happened, and then it kind of unhappened. So you really don't know which one happened, but this happened earlier. There was because of DEI being abolished or whatever, or ban Trump order, Air Force will stop teaching recruits about the Tuskegee Airmen. And, these things that I think are propaganda as well, the race baiting that we're going to be seeing. I'm starting to kind of see through a lot of the race baiting that they're trying to get us with. We're just kind of being really outright mad. And wanting to protest and stuff like that. It's getting crazy though. I think that we just need to kind of sit stuff out and just kind of see what's going on and organize in silence or something. All the protesting in public thing, I don't think that's gonna be the aim this time. But them folks been rallying up. The ICE patrol ever since for the last couple of weeks have been on these Mexicans ass. And folks saying that, the Mexicans are not just Mexicans, but immigrants are really under siege right now in the country. Saying that it's kind of opening up spaces for and opportunities for other people to take advantage. But some folks ain't looking at it like that, and some folks don't want to do some of the same things. But they saying some of these jobs is missing some of these folks, and that means that there are job opportunities that for some folks that maybe need to go get them jobs. But some of our folks ain't gonna go, ain't working in them jobs.
5 votes on a Supreme Court.
What position?
Birthright citizenship.
I think so, yeah. Look, birthright citizenship was, if you look back when this was passed and made, that was meant for the children of slaves. This was not meant for the whole world to come in and pile into the United States of America, everybody coming in and totally unqualified people with perhaps unqualified children. This wasn't meant for that. This was meant, when it was originally done, for the children of slaves.
So again, more of the race baiting information that they gonna really kind of be, but this time it's in behalf and advantage of Donald Trump, because a lot of black folks kind of applauded this one and they were happy that he said something that was represented to the black community that they never heard anybody of power even speak on. I think he is race baiting and pitting us against one another very, very in a very strategic way, and even dividing us in a cultural way. But some of it, you have to understand and kind of agree with, but I don't really get that, because if the birthright citizenship was only meant for the slaves, that means that the birthright citizenship of his own kids may not be citizens because his wife is not from the United States. So it's just weird. It's like, it's just weird talk. Because I have a lot of friends that are that have immigrant parents that came over here and started a new life, and you don't want to just hold the fire to any and everybody that may not be of a certain ilk, like, because it with American, it's just like we feel like it's an arrogance that a lot of folks are looking at. He making a lot of folks look at us like we just like we think our shit don't stink. And you know what Andre 3000 said, man, I know you think your shit don't stink, but wait 1 minute. And the roses that you think you smelling really smell like boo-boo. Even the roses smell like boo-boo, man, already. It's 2 weeks, 3 weeks in, and the roses are smelling like boo-boo. A lot of the things that a lot of the mistakes that they're making already, they still blaming Biden and Obama. And those are the things that disappoint me with what we're dealing with as a president. It's like, bro, why you still gotta keep talking about them folks, bro? Them folks ain't even thinking about you no more, but you still gotta keep talking about them folks. And then meanwhile, some of our folks don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. They don't know when to speak up. It's just getting crazy. Hold on.
Country are white men.
Let's watch another clip. I think I like this one, and I think I like whoever this guy is. He been saying some real shit. We're gonna talk about this plane crash, and then get up out of here in just a second. I think that there was a school shooting that we were supposed to talk about too. Damn, plane crashes and school shootings. Shit's getting crazy. And I'm still want to talk about this racial shit. Been on for a whole hour. I still want to talk racial. What's happening, Big Baby Drip? What's happening, Big Baby Drip? Shout out to your new sad music lane, though. I'm fucking with it. Yeah, I'm fine until I'm tired. Okay,